Welcome, fifth period. We're making a denim tank top, the most awesome shirt imaginable. Let's take a look at what we have to do on our worksheet. A denim tank top only involves piece 1 and piece 2. Tank tops are simple. They have a front, they have a back, they have no sleeves, they have no collar. They are simple, so that's kind of cool. So again, no sleeves, no collar. So we never have to do that. That's what makes tank tops easy. Of course, the tank top is only worth 10 points, not 12. So if you do a tank top, you're saying I want to do a simple one. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't expect to get an A. Okay, so we got to do some measurements. The first one we're going to do is the waistline. And the way it works for the waistline is going to be waistline divided by 2 plus 4. So everybody look at your worksheet. See, it says waistline divided by 2 plus 4. So I'm going to measure my waistline. And then the number I get, I'm going to divide it by 2 and add 4. So here's the number I get. I'm looking for an even number, by the way. So here I see 38. So what's 38 divided by 2, everybody? 19. Good. So 38 divided by 2 is 19. 19 plus 4 is what? 23. Okay, now here's why it's divided by 2. It's divided by 2 because you have a front and a back. Between the two of them, they've got to go around you. So each one only has to be half. The reason we have the plus 4 is that if you did exactly your measurement, you'd end up with something that was really tight. And you don't want it to be really tight. You want a little bit of space. So the plus 4 gives you a little bit of space. If you did a plus 6, it'd be very loose, but that's okay. If you do a plus 2, it's kind of tight, but it's optional. Plus 4 is just the average. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, good. So we've got the waistline divided by 2 plus 4. Next we're going to do hip bone to armpit. So my hip bone, the way I'm defining the hip bone is the bottom of my pocket. The armpit isn't my actual armpit. It's where the seam in my shirt goes. Get that? So I'm going with that, and this one I'm going to say is 19 or 20. We'll go with 20. So we're going to call this measurement 20 inches. And then the hip bone to shoulder, as you can see, is the actual height of the actual rectangle. So hip bone to shoulder, again I'm going to go to my hip bone, but this time you go to the top of the shoulder, and it's easy, you just match it up with the seam on the top of your shirt, as you can see. So the seam on the top of my shirt, I see this one as 27. So this is going to be 27 inches. So as you can see, basically, we're making this thing out of a rectangle that has a height of 27 and a base of 23. So when you multiply those together, you get the area of this rectangle. So this is how I fill out my my worksheet. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 8. Put a 0. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. Add this together, you get 621. So it's 621 inches squared for the rectangle. By the way, this should say minus, not plus. Why? Because we're cutting these triangles out. So if you look at these triangles, they have a base of 3, and then the height is the distance or the difference between this distance and this. So 27 minus 20 is 7. So that's going to be 7. So then what we've got is a triangle that is 3 times 7 divided by 2. So 3 times 7 is 21. 21 divided by 2 is 10 and 1/2. So we'll put that right there. So 622 plus 2 times 10 and 1/2, or sorry, minus 2 times 10 and 1/2. So 2 times 10 and 1/2 is exactly 21. So it's kind of nice. What we actually have is 621 minus 21, then minus 3/4 of the area of the circle. If the diameter of the circle is 8, what's the radius of the circle? Who's paying attention? 4. 4, of course. So then the way we find the area is we square that radius. So what's 4 squared?
16.
16. So the circle is going to be 16 pi. Now what we're saying is that for the first piece, we're going to do 3/4 of the circle in the front and 1/4 in the back. The reason for that is that the person's head is not directly above their shoulders but slightly forward. That's why the majority of the circle has to come out of the front piece and a small part comes out of the back. Does that make sense? Think about that for a second. Okay, so 3/4 times 16. So easy multiplication, we'll put the 16 over 1. We'll cancel right there. What we end up with is minus 12 pi. Now, that's not a usable number. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert it. 12 times pi, well, 12 times 3 is 36. If pi is a little bit more than 3, let's just round up. We'll just go with 38. So what we got is 621 minus 21, which is 600, minus 38 is 562. So 562 inches squared is the area of piece 1. Piece 2, well, piece 2, the original rectangle is congruent to piece 1, so we know that that's already 621. We also know that these triangles are completely congruent, so they're going to both be 10 and a half, so that's going to be 21, so that's easy. But this time, since we're only taking out the back part of the circle, it's going to be less. It's going to be 1/4 times 16 pi. So 1/4 times 16 pi. Again, cross, cross. This time it's going to be minus 4 pi. 4 pi, if pi is a little more than 3, then 4 times 3 is 12, so it's going to be a little bit more than 12. It's pretty safe to call it 12 and 1/2. So what we've got is 621 minus 21 minus 12 and a half. 621 minus 21 is 600. 600 minus 12 and a half is 587 and 1/2. 587, that's really funny writing. Okay, 587 and 1/2. So we've got 562 and 587 and 1/2. Since we're making a tank top, these are our only two pieces. So we'll add them together and that will be the total area of our tank top. 562 plus 587 and 1/2. The 1/2 carries down. 2 plus 7 is 9. 6 plus 8 is 14. 1 plus 5 is 11. We get 1,149 and 1/2 inches squared. And that's it. That's the math for the tank top. So once you've got that part, and your measurements will be different, so your answer will be different, but you'll still do the same type of formulas, you'll be done with the math for the worksheet for your tank top. So thank you very much. Next video will show you the cutting. Thank you.